Hey guys, how are you all? My name is Harshit Divedi friends and I welcome you back to my video. So in this video friends, I will be talking about Chitranjan Das ji. I will be talking about his biography, his role in Indian freedom struggle, everything I will be discussing with you friends. So this is presented by me. If you want to follow me friends, the link of my Instagram profile is given in the description box below. Also friends, this video is in English. So if you want to watch the Hindi version of the video, its link is also given in the description box below. So see, Chitranjan Das ji was a very magnetic personality, very famous personality, friends. His association with the Indian freedom struggle lasted mainly only for 8 years because he became active in the nationalist politics, in 1917, and he died in June 1925. So in these 8 years, he did a lot of things, friends. Also, friends, in this video, I am not including any text. I will be explaining this video in the form of a story. I will narrate a story in front of you and I will speak slowly. I will try to make the story more and more interesting for you so that your interest remains. And important things, if you want, you can note down. However, there is no need for make notes. Just listen it. So Chitranjan Das ji was born on 5th of November 1870 in Bikrampur, in that time Dhaka, Dacca, and present day Dhaka. Present day Dhaka is the capital of Bangladesh. Okay friends, his father was Bhuban Mohan Das. The name of his wife was Basanti Devi. His wife was also a freedom fighter. I will talk to her about her after some time. The name of his children were Aparna Devi, Chittaranjan Das and Kalyani Devi, friends. And as I already told you, he died on 16th of June 1925 in Darjeeling, friends. Okay. He was also famously and loudly known as Deshbandhu. Deshbandhu means the friend of the country. So he was considered to be as the friend of the country, friends. He was born in the Telir Bagh area of Dhaka. That means Dhaka. His father was a reputed solicitor of the Calcutta High Court, and his father was associated very much with the Brahmo Samaj. So, because his father was associated with Brahmo Samaj, he had a very, socialistic, reformed type of view about the society, friends. His father was intellectual. His father also had some journalistic instincts in him, and these instincts were passed on by his father to Chitranjan Das, and Chitranjan Das also gained patriotic ideas from his father. Now, the initial education of Chitranjan Das ji was, there is an institute in Bhuvanipur in Calcutta. The name of the institute is the London Missionary Society Institution. So he studied there, friends. Also, after that, he studied at the Presidency College in 1890. Now, this Presidency College is a very famous college of Kolkata, friends. If you will ever go to Calcutta, visit this Presidency College. The layout, the architecture, the shape, the buildings of this, the heritage of this Presidency College is really very big. It is quite a very nice college because I have been there, so I find it very mesmerizing. Okay, now friends, Chitranjan Das ji wanted to qualify Indian Civil Services examination, so he went to England in order to appear for Civil Services examination, but actually he was not able to appear it. But after that, he joined the Inner Temple. Now, what was this Inner Temple, friends? See, in England, if you have to work as a barrister, then there was a requirement that you should be from one of the four Inns of Court in London, and the name of one of these Inns of Court was the Inner Temple. It was also, inside this there is a Hare Court also. So this Inner Temple was one of the four Inns of Court, and once you are from the Inner Temple, you are eligible to become a barrister. Okay, but this was a requirement to become a barrister. So he joined in a temple. He came back to India in 1894 and joined the bar. Joining the bar means he became a lawyer and started practicing law. Lot of people, influenced the ideology of Chitranjan Das, friends. Important among them were Bankim Chandra. Okay, now when Chitranjan Das ji was studying in Presidency College, he took off lot of lectures from Surendranath Banerjee ji. So Surendranath Banerjee ji also influenced a lot of the mind of young Chitranjan Das. Okay, in 1894, when Chitranjan Das was back in India, he became a barrister at the Calcutta High Court, but unfortunately, friends, he didn't have a big backing. Now, in any profession to excel, especially in the profession of a lawyer, you need to have some connections, friend. You need to have some jack. And if you don't have a jack or connection, then automatically you come at a disadvantage. So this was a disadvantage with Chitranjan Das ji. He didn't have support, background support. Okay, but still, on the basis of abilities, his abilities slowly he was coming up. He fought the case of Bhupendra Nath Dutt in 1907. Now, Bhupendra Nath Dutt was charged for sedition, and Chitranjan Das was defending him. There was also a prosecution lawyer who was accusing Bhupendra Nath Dutt. So, at this point of time, Chittanjan Das showed his great persuasion skill. He was admired for his advocacy skills. He, in his best of capability, tried to defend Bhupendra Nath Dutt, but actually at the end he was not successful, and the prosecution lawyer won. But still, for his work in order to defend Bhupendra Nath Dutt, Chitranjan Das received a lot of admiration, friends. Okay. Now his career actually had a turning point when he defended Aurobindo Ghosh in 1908 in the Alipur bomb case. In the Alipur bomb case, Aurobindo Ghosh was accused. Okay, so this case was very efficiently and brilliantly handled by Das ji, and he handled this case in such a manner that Aurobindo Ghosh was, by Izzat Bari type of thing. He was completely acquitted from all the charges. So this increased the stature of Chitranjan Das ji as a lawyer, friends. Okay. Then after that, he was also the defense counsel in the DACA, that is Dhaka conspiracy case of 1910. Slowly, Surendranath Banerjee became perfect in both civil law and criminal law. Nowadays lawyers have either they are perfect in civil laws, either they are perfect in criminal laws. Chitranjan Das was a master of both. Now, initial days of Chitranjan Das was occupied by his work as a lawyer. Later in his life, he climbed into this nationalist politics, and his entry into nationalist politics mainly started from 1917, friends. In 1917, there was a Bengal provincial conference which held in Bhawanipur, Calcutta. So Chitranjan Das ji was invited to preside over this conference. Okay. Now at the conference, he gave his memorable presidential speech. He talked about idealism, patriotism, nationalism, inspiration, a lot of things he spoke about, and he made a big mark on the people present at that conference. Now, one thing about Chitranjan Das ji is that he was not involved in nationalist politics for a long time, but he was involved only for 8 years from 1917 to 1925. This I've already told initially. But in these 8 years, his rise was extraordinary, friends. He was very famous at that point of time. He showed with his ardent patriotism that he had a very big role to play in the Indian freedom struggle. His oratory skills were very huge, friends. See, for a leader to excel, the biggest quality which is must in a leader is his speaking prowess. The speech he says, because that speech mesmerizes the people, that speech goes to the people. And if the speech of the leader is able to impress the people, then automatically he will automatically become their leader. And this thing was present inside Chitranjan Das ji. Okay. Now, in 1917, a lot of things started happening. Annie Besant ji was elected as the president of the Indian National Congress in its Calcutta session. After that, she was kept under internment. There was a constant watch on the activities of Annie Besant. She was also arrested briefly. So that time, a lot of things were going on, and the leaders, including Chitranjan Das ji, were very much angry with the British government. The reason was that Annie Besant was a British lady. She was in India fighting for the Indians against the British Empire. And when Annie Besant ji was imprisoned and was kept under internment means nazarbandi, keeping a close watch on you by the authorities. So when this thing was done by against Mrs. Annie Besant, Chitranjan Das ji was very much vocal about it against the British rule. Okay. Also, friends, he slowly started protesting against the policies of internment, deportation under the Defense of India Act, friends. Also, now he started going to each and every part of Eastern Bengals, and he started addressing huge gatherings of people on which he spoke about nationalist idea, self-discipline, self-government, all of these things he started to preach to the people. Okay, friends. He was also much very vocal and opposed the Montagu Chelmsford reforms which were given by the Britishers. This Government of India Act 1919. This was kept criticized by everyone. Chitranjan Das ji, N.E. Besant ji, because they were expecting more constitutional reform, some viable constitutional reform. And as I've already told you, in the Government of India Act 1919, Britishers literally gave nothing to the Indians in Government of India Act. So everyone was angry, and Chitranjan Das ji spoke openly against it. Okay, so a lot of these things were happening at that point of time, and Chitranjan Das ji was very much active in it. Then there was the unfortunate tragedy of Jallianwala Bagh, friends. On that, I have also made a video. As far as the videos that I made, which is related to this topic, I will try to give the link of all of those videos in the description box below. But if for some mistake, friends, I forgot to provide those links, you can search it on my channel and go to it and watch it. Okay, friends. So what happened that when this Jallianwala Bagh tragedy occurred, after that British government was not willing to do anything. So Congress on its own, the Indian National Congress, what it did that it constituted a non-official inquiry committee into this Jallianwala Bagh, and Chitranjan Das ji was a member of this non-official inquiry committee. And after this non-official inquiry committee came up, British government was forced to make a Hunter committee. Okay. Then after that, this non-cooperation program came. See, a lot of revolutionaries were there. Lot of Indian freedom struggle leaders came into the Indian freedom struggle in the time period of 1917 to 1920. The reason for that was that at this time Gandhi ji became very active, and the coming of Gandhi ji on the stage of nationalist politics and Indian freedom struggle gave the Indian freedom struggle an organized way. It gave itself a program, a sustainable program, because Gandhi ji's program of non-violent resistance, that is the program of Satyagraha, non-violent Satyagraha, was very potent and was very long lasting. Any revolutionary activities in which you are killing people can be suppressed, but non-violent Satyagraha, suppressing it was very difficult for the Britishers. So a lot of people were supporting Gandhi ji. Chitranjan Das also supported Gandhi ji for some time. However, he also had Gandhi ji reservations with Gandhi ji over some matters that we will talk about later in this video, friends. Also, one reason of many more reasons coming into the nationalist struggle and Chitranjan Das ji coming into nationalist struggle was that World War I was going on. It lasted from 1914 to 1918, and the obvious after effects of World War I were visible in the lives of the common people of India. The common people were in pain, and British government was responsible for it. So obviously, many people were against the British government at this point of time. Okay, friends. Now, this non-cooperation movement was launched by Mahatma Gandhi. The Calcutta Session, in 1920, the special session of the Calcutta. Now, in that special Calcutta Session, friends, that Lala Lajpat Rai was the president of the Calcutta Session. I have already covered this in the Lala Lajpat Rai video. You please go and watch it. So, in that session, the non-cooperation movement program was put forward by Mahatma Gandhi. Though some amendments to it were suggested by Pandit Madan Mohan Lalviye, Chitranjan Das, but those amendments were not accepted. But still, Chitranjan Das ji supported this non-cooperation program of Gandhi ji. However, something very bad happened in February 1922. Chori Chora incident happened, and Gandhi ji pulled back the non-cooperation movement. He stopped it, suspended it. Okay, friends. So after that, Congress had no proper thing to do, and after 1 month of suspending the non-cooperation movement, Gandhi ji was arrested. So now Chitranjan Das ji said that something special needs to be done. Now, one program of the non-cooperation movement was that the Indians will boycott the legislative councils. They will not have an entry in the legislative councils. Chitranjan Das ji said, and Chitranjan Das ji was supported by many other leaders like, Motilal Nehru ji and all other things. So they said that council entry program should be done. This non-cooperation, we should not boycott the council entry. We should get inside the councils, and from inside the councils, we will not cooperate with the government and stall its working. So this was the program given by Chitranjan Das ji, Motilal Nehru ji, and some other leaders like the Ali brothers, friends, Pratap Guha Roy, Ajmal Khan. So all of these leaders were there, friends, and they formed their own Congress Swaraj Khilafat Party, which was also known as Swaraj Party. Don't confuse it with the Socialist Party, the Congress Socialist Party of 1934. That is different. This is a Congress Swaraj Khilafat Party, Swaraj Party, friends. Okay. And they said that we will enter the legislative councils and block the working of the legislative councils from inside. Now they were being opposed by no changers. I have made a detailed video on this, friend. I will give the link of that video in the description box below. Now, finally, they were given the position to work as a faction of the Indian National Congress. Until 1925, they were also recognized as the political wing of Indian National Congress. But till 1926, there were also many problems with this Congress Khilafat Swaraj party. There were communal squabbles inside it. The individual leaders were fighting with each other. So, a lot of problems also propped up in this Congress Khilafat Swaraj party. Okay, so still till 1926 it was able to do some work. After that, its work almost stopped. Also, Chitranjan Das ji, he was involved in a lot of other activities. Deshbandhu ji was involved in the problems of coolies in the Assam tea carbons. A lot of coolies were being pestered there. They were harassed there, exploited there. Then there was a strike of Assam Mangal railway employees in 1921. So there also Chitranjan Das ji supported them. Then there was a visit of Prince of Wales to India in 1921. Now, this visit was being boycotted by the Congress Volunteer Organization. So, what the government did, the government responded by banning and declaring illegal the Congress Volunteers Organization. Now, this act of declaring illegal the Congress Volunteer Organization, this was defied by Chitranjan Das ji. And Chitranjan Das ji, for defying this order, was arrested and sentenced to 6 months imprisonment. And when he came back in 1922, friends, obviously he started the Swaraj party that I've already told you. Okay, now a lot of things happened after some point of time, friends. Das ji was also knew that ground level situations need to be, reformed. He said that constructive work should be done, and that constructive work can be done by educating the masses of India. And the masses of India should be educating in their vernacular languages, in their home tongue, in their mother tongue. What will you do by educating them in English when they don't know English? And when they will be properly educated, they will know about their rights, and then they will participate in making this India free. They will participate in this nationalist movement, friends. Okay, Dasji also said that majority of the Indian population is residing in villages. So a constructive and properly planned program should be started and initiated in villages also. Also, friends, Deshbandhu ji also wrote many poems. He wrote many essays. His religious outlook was very, very liberal, friends. He was a big supporter of women empowerment. He was a big supporter of female education. He also supported widow remarriage. He also supported intercaste marriage. Widow remarriage was something which he would naturally support, friends, because his father was associated with the Brahmo Samaj, and Brahmo Samaj, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, was associated with abolishing the practice of sati. So obviously this widow remarriage was something, woman empowerment was something which he got from his father, friends, and he was a big supporter of woman empowerment. Also, he was, he supported the intercaste strength, intercaste unity among Hindus, and that is why he married both his daughters into other caste. One daughter of his was married to a Brahmin family, and one daughter of his was married to a Kayasth family. Okay, friends. Now, slowly, the health of Chitranjan Das ji started falling. He became very ill, and he went to Darjeeling. Okay, the hill station Darjeeling. On 16th of June 1925, he passed away in Darjeeling, friends, at the age of 55 because of very heavy fever. And when he passed away, Mahatma Gandhi ji praised him. When when Chitranjan Das ji passed away, at the age of 55 in Darjeeling, what Mahatma Gandhi said? Mahatma Gandhi ji said publicly that that means the Chitranjan Das ji, Deshbandhu ji, was one of the greatest men. He dreamed of making India free. He wanted that Hindus and Muslims should live in unity, and he also didn't have any enemy with Englishmen. He just wanted Englishmen to leave India and give India freedom. His wife Basanti Devi was also a freedom fighter in his own right, friends. He was a big supporter of women empowerment, and Basanti Devi was addressed as Ma by the great Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, because Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was the disciple of Chitranjan Das. A lot of buildings, parks, hospitals, memorials, stations have been made in honoring Chitranjan Das. For example, the Chitranjan Avenue, Chitranjan College, Chitranjan High School, Chitranjan Locomotive Works, Chitranjan National Cancer Institute, Chitranjan Park, Chitranjan Station, Deshbandhu College for Girls, and Deshbandhu Mahavidyalaya, friends. Also, Chitranjan Das used to write a lot and many literary magazines were published by him like Narayan, Mala, Sagar Sangeet, Kishore Kishori, Antaryami. He actually also helped Aurobindo Ghosh and Bipin Chandra Pal in publishing Bande Mataram. And this Bande Mataram was an English language weekly which promoted the ideology of Swaraj, which meant self rule, friends. And when Chitranjan Das ji was the president of the Indian National Congress in 1922, the Gaya session, friends, then he gave his presidential address there. And in that presidential address, he explained the meaning of freedom. He said explaining freedom and defining freedom is very difficult. But you can say freedom to be that condition in which a particular nation is in such a condition that that particular nation can identify its own individual existence. But at that point of time, India was under the control of Britishers, so there was no individual existence of India. So he said that freedom will be when nation will have its own individual existence and the nation will be free to decide its own destiny. He also said that a lot of national movements have taken all over the world to make this country free, and there will also be a national movement in India, and India will be free one day. So this was the thoughts of Chitranjan Das ji, friends, the very famous Deshbandhu ji. He unfortunately died very soon at the age of 55 in Darjeeling, friends. If he would have been alive for some more time, his contribution would have been much higher to the cause of nationalist freedom struggle. But still, in these 8 years, this charismatic leader did a lot for our country, and we will always be indebted to him for our today's freedom. So I hope this video was helpful for you, friends. This video was liked by you. If you really like this video, kindly like this video, friends. Please subscribe to my channel, and as far as possible, share this video with your friends. Please comment and tell me how you like this video. Also, friends, this video is in English. If you want to watch the Hindi version of the video, the Hindi version is also uploaded. I am covering the same contents in both Hindi and English version, and all the related topics I will try as far as possible to provide the link of those topics in the description box below. If by mistake I forget some link, you can search it in my YouTube channel, friends. So I hope this video is helpful. Thank you, friends. Have a great day. Goodbye. Take care.